Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading for October 6th to the 13th. I am Charlene Lizette. Whether you are new or whether you are returning, a massive thank you to you. Either way, I hope you click subscribe and become a part of our collective. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on for you this week. We got the Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords. So many swords for you. Okay. Last week, you guys made me cry so much. Don't do it again. I was like, I could not hold back those tears. That was an intense reading, man. What I'm going to say to you is after the kerfuffle of last week, there's a release, right? There's a cumulative energy here. And we just had on the 6th, the full moon in Aries. And you got the full moon card here. It says energy, peak, harvest, blessings, achievement. So there is this really beautiful experience here about moving on, okay? There is this really beautiful experience about releasing, letting go, about celebrating, achieving, and wrapping up a cycle and finding a way to, you know, move forward, right? We have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. All of the stuff that's going on for you right now, Taurus, is all a reflection of your soul's growth and your soul's evolution. When we are experiencing spiritual awakenings, which many of you may be going through, or just maybe going through like a leveling up. You know, I found that whenever I go through like a level up in life, the old patterns, the old behaviors, the pain, the suffering kind of want to like drag you back into like the depths of the darkness. And then your higher self's like, no, we must go this way. And so you feel like you're like being torn, you know? This is all about you learning and embracing the experiences and looking at the lesson, looking at the blessing instead of looking at the pain and suffering. And it is easier said than done when you are in the muck. So for example, if you have recently gone through a breakthrough, okay, or a divorce or a separation, what can you take from that experience with grace and gratitude and move forward in your life? What did that person inspire you to do? What did you learn about yourself? What were the triggers? What were the wounds? What are you going to settle for? And what are you not going to settle for moving forward, right? Like I know there are certain things in my life based off of my past relationships I will not accept moving forward. And so whoever decides to, you know, want to be my partner and step up, they better come correct, because there are certain non-negotiables that I will not tolerate anymore in my life because of my lived experience, right? Now, if you are going through a shift in your career, a shift in your job, and it feels restrictive, financially challenging, or you feel like, oh my God, I have all this like responsibility upon me and I don't know how to navigate or hold space for all of this. What is the lesson here that is happening, right? Are you being too rigid? Because that's a thing for you guys, okay? Are you being too stubborn? That's a thing for you guys, right? Where can you release and find a little bit more flexibility? You know, I know with my son, he's a Taurus, right? He's a Taurus sun, and you tell that kid to be on time, he's going to make sure he's 45 minutes late. Health, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul, right? So this is all about your emotional, spiritual, mental, physical health. The Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles to the Four of Swords. Where can you experience more rest instead of doing? Where can you experience more self-love, more self-care? Where can you be in celebration rather than restriction, okay? And with the Four of Swords, the Source is also saying like guard your heart, protect your heart, okay? Reset, refuel, you know, rest. The Page of Pentacles is about planting seeds. The Page of Pentacles is about putting in the energy where energy is due, and then also taking a step back and reflecting on whether or not this path is the path that is working for you. And if it's not, it's okay to course correct. You know, I think I've shared this with you guys before. I always thought that I was going to be an actor, and then I dove into the world of acting, had fun doing it, loved learning what I got to learn from it, you know, went to the auditions, did a couple of commercials, did that kind of stuff, but quickly realized that's not my path. Like, you know, I do stand-up comedy, I do improv, love that. That's so much fun, right? But like the acting, getting into character, getting into role, like I can't emote if I'm not truly feeling the emotion. That is something that I have learned. You know, what you see is what you get with me. I cannot pretend to be anybody else, because if I don't like you, you're gonna see it in my at the bottom, you got Saturn here. So naturally, there's lessons here to be learned. The Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords, is curiosity, it's intellect, it's communication. And the Queen says, can you be very discerning with respect to what is causing pain, suffering, challenges, where your blockages are, where your trauma lies, where your suffering is, and what needs to be shifted, what needs to be transmuted, what you need to work on within your nervous system to really shift out of this place of mental blockage, mental anxiety, and step into joy, happiness, love, joyful expectation, hope, optimism. This is basically Source saying, I'm trying to give you this, but you got to see what is holding you back from getting this. This is a conversation I've been having with my girlfriends a lot. Maybe this is going to resonate with you, especially if you've been single for a minute, or you've been going through a separation, a divorce, or you're in this place in your life where like, why can't I attract the partner that I like? One of my friends once said to me, she was like, you purposely like shut people down without giving them a try because it's a self-preservation mechanism. And I'm like, yes. And my therapist said the same thing too, right? My therapist is like, instead of observing them and letting them show you, the minute you see like one minuscule, minor little, you're like done. And she's like, but the reality is we're all human, so we're all gonna have these little icks. You have to decide if these are icks that you can live with or icks that you cannot live with, and that only comes with time. You can't just, talk to a person for 1 week and be like, it's done. Sometimes you can, but oftentimes, like, you need a little bit more than that. So, wherever you are in your life, look at this, 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, wherever you are at in your life, whether this is pertaining to your career, your finances, your love life, your health, your personal, pay attention to, where maybe your wounds, your self-preservation mechanisms, your self-sabotage are showing up in your life that are stopping you from being able to find that love that you seek, or that happiness, that tranquility, that peace, that joy, that bliss, that ease, because Source is trying to give you a blessing here in your life. There's something here that's wanting to come through, but maybe you've just got the blinders on too much and you're not willing to see it. 5 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. If you're going through a divorce, a separation of some sort, or a breakup, Source is saying, I'm trying to take out the trash for you, and you're crying over the fact that it's garbage that I'm removing out of your life. Knight of Wands to Knight of Cups. For some of you, this could be a new romantic opportunity coming in your way, and you're not even seeing it. You're like, oh my God, every other relationship hasn't worked, so this one's not going to work either. And then we have the 6 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. Maybe some of you are just bored in love right now. Maybe you're feeling apathy in love, complacency, or like stagnation. If that's the case, then why are you trying to force love in your life if you're not in a mental capacity or mental space to welcome in love? Maybe right now is time for you to focus on your finances. Maybe it's time to focus on your own stability, your own healing, your own attachment styles, getting clear on what you truly desire in a romantic relationship, rather than actively dating or putting yourself out there. For all of you, this is about like self-growth, self-evolution. I feel like a lot of you are going through like a transformation, a spiritual awakening of sorts, and you're learning how to align your life. You're learning how to step into alignment with your higher self. And through this journey, you're realizing the parts of you that you need to shed, that you need to release, so that you can step into the spiritual awakening with power, with self-confidence, and with clarity, okay? And for those of you that are experiencing that, I invite you to join my Align course. It's down in the description box below. It's going to really help you with that, okay? That's what I got for you guys this week, all right? If you want to book a session, you want to work with me in any capacity, it's down in the description box below. Here is this video to help you with manifesting your dream life. Thank you so much. We'll see you later, alligators. Peace out. Bye.